Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Kishore's podcast. Today, we are exploring the concept of time teller versus clock builder, which I would like to call our part of a leadership spectrum. You might be wondering, what exactly do I mean? Well, let's start with a bit of a background. The terms time teller and clock builder both comes from the business classic book Built to Last by Jim Collins and Jerry Porras. They use these metaphors to distinguish between two types of leaders in organizations. A time teller is someone with a great vision or an idea who can guide their organization in the short term, but their influence doesn't extend beyond their presence. On the other hand, a clock builder is a leader who creates systems, processes, and a culture that endures and thrives even in their absence. Let's dive deeper into these concepts. We can start with a time teller. A time teller is often seen as a visionary leader. Maybe a question to you at this point. When you think of a visionary leader, who comes to your mind? Visionary leader, or in this case, a time teller, are the one who can see what others cannot and guide their organization towards success. However, their leadership is often heavily dependent on their own personal presence and charisma. While they can achieve great things, their impact can be fleeting if they don't build a sustainable structure. In contrast, a clock builder focuses on creating a lasting institution. They design and implement systems and processes that allow the organizations to function and grow, independent of any single individual. This approach requires a long-term perspective and a commitment to build a strong foundation that can weather the storms of change. Now, why is this important for you? Whether you are a corporate leader or a business strategist or a professional in any field. Because your contributions to your organizations is crucial to ensure that the organization can grow sustainably and be resilient. Organizations that rely on time tellers might achieve quick wins, but they often struggle with long-term stability. On the other hand, clock builders create enduring legacies that continue to innovate and thrive even in the absence. Let's look at some of the real-world examples maybe. Take Steve Jobs, for instance. When he returned to Apple in the late 90s, he was very much a time teller, with his vision for products like, for example, iPod, iPhone, and iPad. However, Jobs also focused on transforming Apple into a clock builder by instilling a culture of innovation and excellence that persists to this day. Similarly, Jeff Bezos of Amazon had a clear vision for an online marketplace, and he also built a robust systems and culture of customer obsession that enables Amazon to continue growing and adapting even as he steps back from the daily operation. Today, you can't find any better organization which is more customer obsessed than Amazon, in fact. Speaking of Steve Jobs, I'm a huge fan, and you can also see him in my background if you're watching this episode in video format. Steve reminds me a related concept that we discussed in one of the previous episodes: peacetime leader versus wartime leader. In that episode, I mentioned how Steve acted as a wartime leader upon his return to Apple, driving significant change and innovation during a critical period. Now, thinking about it, these two concepts, like time teller versus clock builder and peacetime versus wartime leader, are not mutually exclusive, but rather different facets of an effective leadership. Often, leaders need to exhibit time teller qualities during wartime, showcasing visionary and immediate action to navigate crisis. Conversely, they move towards being a clock builders during peacetime, focusing on creating enduring systems and cultures. It's a spectrum, as said, where leaders consciously balance these roles to suit the situation. Now, let me share a recent personal moment that also served as a motivation for discussing this topic today with you all. Being part of SAP, I recently witnessed a significant event that at least I felt a perfect encapsulation of this balance between being a time teller and a clock builder. A couple of weeks ago, during the 2024 shareholder meeting of SAP here in Germany, Dr. Hasso Plattner, one of the last founders and the long-standing chairman of the supervisory board of SAP, stepped down from his official role, handing over the baton to Dr. Becker. This event was graced by many notable guests, including Germany's Chancellor, Mr. Olaf Scholz, and Hasso's longtime business friend Bill Gates, who joined virtually, and many others who joined this event and shared heartfelt farewell messages to Hasso. Their words clearly highlighted what an extraordinary visionary leader Hasso was. It was super inspiring. Those who have worked closely with him know how demanding and visionary he could be, often acting as a decisive time teller. However, Dr. Hasso Plattner has not only been a time teller, he has also been a quite essential clock builder. He focused not just on the technical development of SAP solutions, but also on fostering robust leadership within the company. Now, he leaves SAP with a well-prepared supervisory and executive board ready to continue his legacy. I can't be more confident that this distinguished leadership team will uphold and advance the remarkable legacy Hasso has built. Today, it's not a mere coincidence that I am taking time and talking about this topic with you all on my vacation, while being fully confident that my team is taking care of some of the important work-related aspects. So, now the question is, just like Hasso, Steve, and Jeff, how can you as a leader or a startup founder apply these concepts in your own career or organization? With my limited experience, I am sharing some of my suggestions, which I hope will resonate with you all. Number 1, build robust systems and processes. Develop scalable and repeatable processes that can ensure consistency, quality, regardless of who's executing them. Invest in creating detailed documentation and training programs so that the knowledge is institutionalized and not just in the heads of few individuals. Number 2, create a strong organizational culture. Foster a culture that aligns with your vision and values. A strong, cohesive culture will guide decision-making and behavior across the company. Encourage a sense of ownership and accountability among your team members. When everyone feels responsible for the company's success, their contribution would be completely different. Number 3, empower your team. Hire talented and passionate individuals who align with your company's values and vision. Delegate authority and responsibility, allowing your team to make decisions and take ownership of their work. This not only empowers them, but also frees you up to focus on strategic issues. Number 4, always focus on long-term goals. Set long-term goals and build strategies that support sustainable growth. Avoid the temptation of short-term fixes that don't contribute to long-term stability. Continuously invest in research and development to keep innovating and staying ahead of the market trends. And most important, ensure that these long-term goals are well understood by everyone in your organization. Number 5, develop leadership at all levels across the company. Identify and nurture leadership potential within your organization. Provide training and mentorship to develop future leaders. Create a succession plan to ensure that leadership transitions are smooth and that the company can continue to thrive as individuals come and go. In conclusion, while being a time teller can bring immediate success and recognition, the true measure of leadership lies in being a clock builder. Creating systems, fostering a strong culture, and thinking long term are essential for building enduring organizations and careers for everyone in your organization. And remember, those two qualities are not necessarily either or, but rather, as said, two reference points in a leadership spectrum, which every leader should be able to apply appropriately. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Kishore's podcast. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. Until next time, remember to keep exploring, innovating, and embracing the possibilities of tomorrow.